Hi there, I'm Egfer, and today I want to show you my new bamboo farm, bamboo and sugarcane actually. So I've got 4 slightly different versions of this farm behind me, and they support either just bamboo, bamboo and sugarcane, or one which can auto-craft bamboo into bamboo blocks as well. So let's have a look at them. This is the first farm I want to show you, and all the farms are of the same footprint. So this is 6 by 3, so it's really tiny. Really quick and easy to build as well. I've built this one actually in a way which is designed to fail, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in a moment. But essentially, you put your bone meal in here. There's a manual start-stop lever, and you can also bring bone meal in from a bone meal farm like this. Bring it into this barrel at the top. Do not bring it in this way because items can fall out through here. But you can definitely bring it in from outside, or you can just load it manually into here, and you can leave it turned on all the time because it will automatically stop when it runs out of bone meal and start again when more bone meal arrives because of this comparator here. So I said I'd built this in a way it's designed to fail. Let's have a look at it. I'm going to turn it on, and you can see it's working, but bamboo fell out just then. And if I look in my hopper, you can see that nothing is coming down into the hopper. So what's going on there? Well, the first thing is that items are falling out because of the direction we built it in. And the second thing is that because of the location we built it in, the items end up on top of the bamboo stem here. And like I said, I'll explain all of that a little bit more in a moment. And we have a really simple way to fix it. So I'll show you that as well. But that's the first farm. The second farm is essentially exactly the same, except I put these 2 observers at the top here. And if I close it up, what that allows is, in fact, I'll have to save it on purpose, because what that allows is for bamboo to grow manually without any bone meal, and the observer will detect that and send a signal to the piston to break it. So if you don't have a lot of bone meal, and you just want to leave it running so that the bamboo grows by itself and gets collected, you can do it that way. That's second option. Third option, this is where we introduce sugarcane as well. So this farm can do both bamboo and sugarcane with the same farm, and you can swap them out by coming here and just placing bamboo or sugarcane against that block. And did I just break my trapdoor? I didn't mean to break my trapdoor. There we go. Trapdoor goes there. And then this will start, and you will get sugarcane coming out of here. So we should see that coming into this hopper here. And I can stop that again. And then the final version is this one, which is bamboo only now. But this one has an auto crafter, and so instead of collecting bamboo, we'll actually collect bamboo blocks. So let's make sure I've got bone meal in there. Let's turn it on. It's probably just worth showing you as well that it does start automatically. So even without this lever, if I just put bone meal in, it'll start automatically. See, bamboo fell out of this one as well. And I'll start getting bamboo blocks in here. And that means your storage capacity is multiplied by 9. It's not a very complicated crafter. If you do want something that's going to craft your bamboo into lots of different bamboo items, then I recommend you have a look at the video that I'll link up in the corner here. It's by Golden Helmet. Really good auto crafter for bamboo items. So the last thing I want to show you was that if we turn this on and your storage gets full over time, then it will switch itself off automatically. So if we watch this bamboo coming into here, this hopper is going to fill up, and that's because my chest is already completely full. And then this hopper will start to fill up, and when it gets to around 27-ish items, then it cuts off. And that's because this comparator here will power this redstone, which powers this block, and blocks this hopper, so it can no longer take stuff out of a chest, and it no longer feeds it into our dispenser here. So yeah, so it's a really, really simple, easy to use farm. You could just leave it, near your base, running all the time. And we'll go and have a look at some of the technical issues of how you build it so it doesn't break. Okay, so I've just talked about directionality, and I've got a big compass here, and I've left all 4 farms running. And what you'll see is the farm that has the piston facing south, and the farm with the piston facing east, that one over there, will drop items out. So you can see items on the ground there. There should be none on this one. There aren't. There should be none on this one, which I left running. And there probably will be items over here. Yeah, there we go. Items on the ground there. So when you're building this, you've got to make sure that you build it with the piston pointing north, that's that way, or west. And if you have a pumpkin, the pumpkin stem will always point northwest. So you want your pistons pointing in that direction or that direction, not one of these two. Hence the scary creeper faces for those two. Okay. The second thing of note is that if you're growing bamboo, bamboo grows kind of higgledy-piggledy, and it depends, it's not random, it depends on whereabouts you are in the world. So your XY coordinates will determine whereabouts on the block the bamboo grows. So your XZ coordinates, I should say, because your Y coordinate doesn't matter. You'll see that this one matches that one, this one matches that one, and so on. They're all the same up and down. But what you want to do is make sure that you have something set up like this, where your bamboo is on the block close to the piston. That means that when the piston pushes, it'll push the bamboo over to this side of the block, and it'll get swallowed by your hopper. Instead, if you've got it the wrong way round, then as we saw, the bamboo can sit on top of the bamboo stem. And if that stem was over here, the piston would just keep pushing them on top of the stem and they would never fall down. There's a double chest here, which has got all the items that you will need. So you remember our 4 versions. Version 1 are these items here. This is for bamboo only, and I'll point out that the snow blocks can be any solid block. The glass could, in theory, be solid blocks, except for one of them. And you could also use a top slab for that. But if you want to see what's going on, glass is better. This is mud. That has to be a mud block. And you can see your stuff is a dispenser. And I don't think there's much more to say. This is a piston. Take a bit of time, have a look at those. If you want it to be able to work without bone meal, it'll be very slow, but you can put 2 observers and an extra solid block for that. If you want to be able to grow sugarcane as well, you'll also need 1 stair, a water bucket, a trapdoor of your choice, and not an iron trapdoor, and an extra hopper. And then if you want to use the auto-crafting system, you'll need 2 crafters, 2 extra comparators, another target block, 2 redstone dust, a solid block, and a redstone torch. So that is everything you need. All right, so let's get on with building the simple version of the farm. And bear in mind that it's got to point north or west, as we said earlier. I'm going to point mine to the north over here. The farm itself, I'm going to have the farm ending here. This will be the front of the farm. And then behind that, we've got to work out where we can place our bamboo. So I'm just going to put a line of mud blocks. It could be dirt if you like. I'm just place bamboo on each of those. And then if we look at where they are on the block, I can see that actually these 2 here, in fact this one as well probably, are all quite far back on the block. So any of those would probably do, but not this one, for example. So funnily enough, I'm going to use this one, which happens to be in the middle of this space I've created by complete coincidence. So that's where we're going to build. And we'll start off by placing a chest. So this is where our mud block was. We're going to place a chest in front of that and off to the right, like so. Come behind, place a hopper, place a solid block on top of there temporarily with a hopper going to there. You can break this again. And we want our mud block on top of here. And we're going to put our bamboo just there. place a temporary block here with a dispenser, and on top of the dispenser you want a normal piston, just like that. And then we're going to use glass, and we're just going to build up the sides here around the bamboo, like so. And we go up one level above the piston. You could actually get away with doing it one block lower, but I prefer to have an extra space up at the top here. And it also helps when you get onto version 2 of the farm. Put a roof on there, like this. Come round the back, and you put a block here. We don't actually need that one underneath the dispenser. Another block just there. And I'm going to grab my redstone components now, so we'll get rid of these. Grab our redstone. What don't I need? I don't need a piston, don't need that. Okay, so put a comparator here, which is going to be reading this dispenser. A 1-tick repeater. That's going to be pointing into a solid block. Then put blocks along here, 1, 2, 3. Come round this side. And just here, you want a glass block, or you can use a top slab. Then a solid block here, and a solid block just there as well. Put a hopper going into the side of this dispenser with a barrel on top. And you want a solid block just here. In fact, break that one underneath. Now put a repeater on 2 ticks pointing to that block. You want redstone here, here, and 3 along this side like that, with a target block by the side of the dispenser. Okay, so this is going to make basically like an auto dropper circuit, which is going to fire whenever there's anything inside the dispenser. That'll power the dispenser. And then this will also power the piston by powering this redstone, which will power the barrel, which will activate this piston here. And it's offset from the dispenser because of this 2-tick repeater. Okay. So we're going to have a block directly underneath the hopper. And then I want one block going diagonally down, so I don't need that one. And then diagonally down again, just to there. Put redstone dust on both of those. Then we're going to put, we're going to come around here. Put a block down there, so I can put a comparator facing away from this top hopper. No. A block here, a block there, then a comparator, and that is going to point into a solid block here. So that will now power this redstone. And put a lever just here. And I guess we can test it out. So if I grab some bone meal now, and we put that into here, hopefully we should see that this starts off. And we start to get bamboo down in our chest at the bottom here. And if we press that, it'll stop. And we set it off again. So that's it. It's like super simple, right? Okay, so all the bone meal's gone. It's probably worth pointing out that you can actually add another double chest on top of this one. So if you want to increase your storage without going further down, you can put one here. But as bamboo items fall down, sometimes you get 2 at once, and you'll get 2 bamboo items inside this top hopper. In that case, one will go into the top chest and one will end up in the bottom chest. So your bamboo will be split between the 2. So if you don't want that, you can break this and you just build further down. So if you want another chest below this one, and then another hopper pointing into that chest below this, you can go down as far as you want and have as much storage as you want that way. What about version 2 of our farm, which was one where it can just use natural growth as well? Well, it's really easy. We just break this dust block here, put down an observer, which will be got its face towards where the bamboo grows. Another observer above the barrel here, pointing into a solid block like that. So now the bamboo will grow, get seen by this, that'll trigger this observer, power this block, power this redstone, and then power the piston, which will break the bamboo, and we'll just collect it. So if I turn my random tick speed up to say let's do 200, you'll see that the bamboo now grows pretty quickly, hopefully. And as soon as it grows, there we go, it gets broken by the observer and everything's collected. Put it back to normal. So those are the first two versions of the farm, and then we'll go and have a look at how we now change it so that it will also support sugarcane. We need to think about what's different about sugarcane, and actually there's a couple of things. The first is that it grows too high when you bone meal it, so up to 3 blocks in total, and that means that you do need this extra height that we put in anyway. So that's fine, we've already got that. The second thing is it needs water to grow, and it needs some sort of water source next to the mud block here. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to put in, I'm going to come around this side. I'm going to break this block. I'm going to place a stair facing towards me, and then I'm going to put this back again like so with my lever on it. So we'll put the lever back here. So now I've got a stair just there, which I can waterlog without the water going everywhere. And what else do I need to do? Oh, yes, because it's going to grow 2 blocks at once, I get 2 sugarcane at a time. It goes at double the speed of bamboo. That's double hopper speed. That means that this system here would just back up. So what we do is put another hopper there. So now when 2 items fall into this hopper, one goes this way, one gets pulled down. They both end up in this chest here. So that will work just fine. And lastly, I'm going to replace this glass block with a trapdoor, and we'll close that for now. But the idea being that from even on the ground here, you could break this and you could swap the plant out. So I'll break the bamboo, and just by pointing at the glass block at the side, you can plant sugarcane. Close trapdoor again, and that's done. This system will have to go, and I will show you why, in fact. So let's start off by grabbing some more bone meal. So if I take some bone meal into my inventory and I put it in here and we start the machine, you'll see that the piston is going to go, it's actually going fine at the moment, but the piston can get a bit erratic if your timing is off. So I don't know if I can show that at the moment. Yeah, there, you see it missed one. And that's because this observer is also triggering the piston at the same time as the clock is triggering it, and that can cause it to get out of sync. So the best thing to do is get rid of those and replace that with a glass block, and then it'll work at full hopper speed, or double hopper speed actually, in terms of your items collected. So that's it. That is sugarcane. And this system, I mean, actually, this one's really easy to build. It's not very different to the bamboo only one, so I don't think there's any real harm in having both available to you. You can build this if you want sugarcane, put bamboo in it now and again, or not. The only thing to watch out for is when you extend your storage downwards, you now have to go at double hopper speed. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to put a chest down here with 2 hoppers behind it, and then you can keep going down with 2 hoppers straight underneath these ones and double chests underneath those ones. But you do need 2 hoppers under the chest, or else it'll back up. Okay, I'll just fill that back in. Finally, for safety, maybe a good idea to put a block on top of this hopper so that nothing falls in accidentally. Right, so next we'll look at the bamboo farm with crafting into bamboo blocks. If I could just take a moment, I'd like to say thank you for watching. There is a lot of work goes into designing these farms. I do all the designs myself to make simple, efficient, and very reliable farms for you guys. So if you enjoy what I do, you're liking this video, then please consider subscribing to the channel, dropping me a like on the video, or leaving a comment. Thanks a lot. Okay, so first back to our original bamboo farm, the first one we built, and I'm going to show you the changes that we need to make. I've just noticed that I've got to add the glass block here. This is our original bamboo farm. And what we're going to do is we're going to break these two hoppers. We're going to put a Autocrafter just here pointing to the right of the farm. And here we're going to put a hopper pointing into the back of the chest here. Put another one pointing into the top of the crafter. So that's now going to come down into there. It's going to craft and then get put into the chest as a bamboo block. We want to break these blocks for the time being, like so. And I want to put a solid block here and here. We're going to put a comparator just there. So that's reading this hopper. We're going to put a comparator here, turn round and put one diagonally along from that. Put redstone dust here and here with a block directly above this redstone. Of course, we want to separate out these two. Put a target block here with a torch next to the crafter. And then finally, we're going to have one more crafter, which we're going to set to a full level of 8, like this, just by clicking on 8 of the squares. And what this circuit does is essentially detects when this crafter has 9 items in it, and then it'll unpower the target block and allow the torch power, which will craft an item for us. And now when this hopper starts to get full, then it'll power this comparator to power level 2, which will power this block and turn off the farm for us. Finally, put a solid block on top of that hopper so nothing falls in by accident. And that is everything. So again, let's grab some bone meal, pop it into here. And that should start. And what we should see now, hopefully, is that instead of bamboo or sugarcane, we start getting blocks of bamboo coming out here. And you can see that torch coming on to do the crafting. So yeah, so now you get like huge amount of storage. Again, you could put more double chests under here and hoppers underneath this one to extend that storage out even further. And that's it. So yeah, really, really easy. But like I said, if you really seriously into crafting bamboo, then check out Golden Helmet's video. It is absolutely superb. His crafter, much more complicated than what we've got here, but a lot more powerful as well. So thank you again if you've watched all the way to the end. Really enjoyed designing these. I hope you build them in your world and you get a lot of use out of them. I think they're just great. They're so simple to build and to use and give you loads of resources. So I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.